They do play excellently with a great run-on style, and it leaves people at times wondering where it actually starts from. But Carlton, Richmond took them apart last week, but at the end of the game, all people and all praise was for Richmond, how well they played, how poorly Carlton played, and at the end there was only 23 points the difference, and really in modern football that could be done in the difference made up in 5 minutes. I'm selecting Carlton. I was, as I said, in the second half impressed with Hawthorn last week. But over the years, Carlton, because of their abundance of talent across the full 20 players that go onto that ground during the day, really have the skills and the pace to take it away from Hawthorn. And I think that we'll see an improved effort. I'm sure, as one of our guests, David Parkin, tonight will be very confident that as long as you don't get it...
Oh, I'm certain for a long while, Doug. The statistics of it all show very clearly there's no relationship at all between who hits it and who gets it. And I think you get to the stage where a number of coaches are making sure that the opposition hit it in the knowledge that at least they'll know where it's going. Therefore, so we can get the balance of power where the action's going to be.
Therefore, when you say that Mike Fitzpatrick is Australia's leading ruckman, it's in general field play that you...
I think it's more likely that if he is, he's going to have greater effect at throw-ins and ball-ups round the ground than he is going to be able to have at centre bounces. I mean, quite classically, the sides have been... We did reasonably well out of the middle last week against Richmond and got annihilated in the game. We've been down for most part of the year, not in ruck work. We've won most of our contests, Jones and Fitzpatrick, quite conclusively, and yet we've been under 50% in almost every game out of the centre.
Did you miss Buckley badly there?
Yes, certainly Jim is very vital for the ground balls there, and that's one reason for his automatic inclusion when he's fit.
Is he fit at the moment, David? Is he?
Yes, I think probably his the run last week will have done in the world of good. And he's as everybody knows, Jim's a very courageous little guy, and he carries plenty, and is very, very important in our makeup.
Well, speaking of the fitness of players on both sides, Alan, it must have been tremendously heartening to have must really give everybody else a boost, and you must be delighted with his performance for such a lightly built sort of a player. Looks so youthful, and yet just gives it everything. And last week,
yes, I think Hunter and Glascott were probably our two players who played up to their ability, and they're both bags of bones. There's nothing to either of them. David, I think, at this stage is one of the few players who may have won the Rookie of the Year and become in his second year a better player than he was in the first. That rarely happens in league football because of the pressures associated with being a good player in your first year. So his great asset is his ability to work, and I think a young player who works as hard as he does and has a tremendous amount of ability is going to be a great player for Carlton for a long time. Where might he finish up, as a centreman, or would you see his future on the wing? I think David would probably like to end up in the centre, and I don't see that that's not a possibility too. I just think at the moment he generates so much running, he works so hard that we're getting great value from him in the position which he plays.
David, you've thrown a big challenge to Marcus Owen.
Yes, that's true.